During the ancient times, the cakes made were bread-like and sweetened with honey rather than sugar. The ancient Egyptians were the first culture to show baking skills. The Greeks then developed an early form of cheesecake, while the Romans developed a fruit cake with raisins, nuts, and etc. In the mid-17th century, European cakes began to become popular with more advanced technology and ingredients. These European cakes now heavily influence what cakes look like now: round cylinders with icing on the top. The problems with baking cakes in the past were the precision and efficiency of the ovens. Cakes were watched by bakers until they finished baking. The ovens used to make these cakes were known as earth ovens, that were pits in the ground and heated with coal or wood. These ovens were not temperature regulated and were not precise. This meant that a cake was considered a luxury and relatively rare because of the overexpense of effort and inconvenience. However, today with advancements of technology, we have fixed this problem. A popular oven used today is the convection oven, which circulates hot air in the oven cavity to help cook food faster and cook more evenly. The usage of physics to make this convection oven allowed for the process of cake making to be more efficient and tastier.
So these ovens are based around the concept of convection in physics. Convection only occurs in gases and liquids or something that can flow. Typical ovens use air to transfer heat, and the heat is generated by burning gas at the bottom of the oven, causing the hot air to rise and bake the cake. The air particles next to the bottom of the oven, where the heat is generated, gain energy from the heat and move faster. And because they are moving faster, those air particles are less dense than the air particles not next to the heat source. And because it is less dense, the air particles rise up, and this makes the colder air particles move downward towards where the heat is generated. Then these air particles gain energy and they rise as well. So this creates an ongoing convection current within the convection ovens. These ovens also include a built-in fan underneath the heating element that distributes a flow of hot air rather than creating a hot layer at the top. So this makes the oven more efficient by using a fan to circulate the hot air inside the oven, creating a balanced temperature in all parts of the oven. Thus, also, it leads to a quicker baking process because it brings more hot air in contact with the cake.
First, looking at what density and viscosity is. Density is calculated by mass over volume and measures the quantity of something per unit value, and viscosity is the resistance of flow in a fluid. So overall, a fluid with a higher viscosity would pour out slower and seem thicker. Viscosity is important in baking because it determines the texture of the food itself. It also has an impact on the chance of phase separation, which affects the products from batter. For example, a cake with a low viscosity could mean that the phases will separate at the wrong times and result in a dry and crumbly cake. Temperature also goes hand in hand with viscosity here as well. This is because different viscosities will be affected by different temperatures. For example, a higher temperature with a low viscosity batter would create a dry cake as well.
The law of conservation of energy also applies to the baking process. No energy is created or destroyed, and all thermal energy is transferred to the cake in order to bake it. Kinetic energy is an important component in the baking process. Temperature can be described as the average kinetic energy of the particles in the system. When a substance is exposed to heat, some of the energy is absorbed and stored within the particles, and some of the energy increases the motion of the particles. Kinetic energy is given by the equation K equals 1/2 mv squared, which represents the energy associated with the motion of the particles colliding with each other. With higher temperatures, such as the temperature of the oven, there is a higher average kinetic energy, which causes the baking reaction to occur faster. The conversion from heat energy to kinetic energy during baking increases collisions, and the molecules push outward to avoid hitting other molecules, causing the cake to rise and expand in the oven. This figure shows the change in kinetic energy at two different temperatures, T1 and T2, with T2 being a higher temperature. The T2 curve is shifted to the right, as you can see, which means the average kinetic energy increases. The information provides a physical basis for why higher temperatures speed up the baking process.
This is a time-lapse that we created to show the process of phase changes that occur while a cake is baking in a convection oven. For this portion of the experiment, we were looking at the part of the baking process where the egg is cracked into the bowl before being combined into the batter. we crack 3 eggs into a bowl at a height of 0.5334 meters, and we track their motion in vernier to ultimately determine the acceleration. The observed acceleration was on average negative 9.18 meters per second squared, which is a slight deviation from the theoretical negative 9.81 meters per second square. And from here, we were able to do an analysis of the force that the egg exerts on the bowl when it is dropped and cracked. This is a basic application of free-fall motion and force diagrams. Because the mass of the raw egg is about 60.5 grams, and we know that the acceleration, which we derived, was negative 9.18 meters per second squared, we put this into a Newton's law equation, F equals ma, and we can derive that the force that will be exerted when the egg cracks is equal to around 0.555 newtons. This is the force that the egg exerts on the bowl when dropped, and the bowl exerts an equal and opposite force back that causes it to crack. This portion of the experiment uses Newton's third law and second law.
So in the next part of our computation, we made measurements and observations for cakes baking in standard versus convection ovens. So our first cake baked in a normal oven at 350 degrees for 27 minutes. The second cake baked in a convection oven at 350 for 27 minutes. And the third cake baked in a normal oven at 400 degrees for 24 minutes. So the difference between a normal oven and a convection oven is that in a normal oven, the heating process is stationary. And in a convection oven, the heat source is circulating the hot air around the entire oven, allowing for the cake to bake in the process. So here we baked 3 different cakes at 2 different temperatures, but also used a standard versus convection oven for the temperature at 350. And overall, from the results, it seems like baking a cake at a higher temperature allows for a shorter amount of time in the oven.
This graph maps out the accelerations of both the x and y components of the motion of the whisk. The instantaneous acceleration at any given point is changing from one point to the next as the direction of the force being applied by the hand on the whisk is also changing. The trend lines for both x and y accelerations are shown, which give the average accelerations, which are both very close to 0, around less than 0.26 meters per second squared, as is expected. Because the motion is circular, the accelerations should all cancel out each other to continue the motion of the circular path, and the theoretical average acceleration would be 0 meters per second squared. For this diagram, for the side view, we are noting that the spoon is moving from the left position to the right position. So this means that the force by the hand on the spoon is greater than the force on the batter on the spoon. We also noted that the normal force of the batter and the force of the weight of the batter is equal, because the y component is not changed. From the bird's eye view, the spoon is moving in a circular motion, moving clockwise. This means that it is following centripetal acceleration motion, which acceleration and the force is going inwards, while the velocity is moving essentially to the right.